All right, let's do this. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Pierre, your host. Welcome back to my stream. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I know that I did. Anyways, so it's Monday. We are going to continue on our painting. We're going to start off like we do every day. We are going to go over to the computer and we're going to check out quickly what we did on Friday, and then we'll tackle our day from there. So, what did we do on Friday? I think we started our day by putting a second coat of green paint on our frame. And then after that, we did the light purple outline to our leaves. And we ended the day by adding some shadowing to our green border, to the green frame. Like that, we would be ready to go today and start tackling our frame. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So, first of all, first thing I'm going to do though is add some shading to our green circle so that it has time to dry. After that, I am going to start tackling our border by first of all putting two little outlines on either edge, inside and outside edge, and then we'll improvise from there. So, to do this shadowing of the green, I'm just going to grab some green paint, a little bit of black, and we're going to blend both colors together and see where we are with that. So here's the green paint. Not going to need that much. There isn't much of a surface. So just get that together. A little rusty from the weekend, of course. So there we go. I'll put my brush to dry. I guess I am rusty. Just put my paintbrush to soak up a little bit of the water, get the hairs a little flexible, clean off my spoon here. There we go. And so I got the green paint. I'm going to just get a little bit of the black paint. Whoops, this is the black paint right here. I am going to get my faithful little knife, which is right here. And I'm going to put a little bit of black paint on the side of this palette. And then we'll blend in and try to find the right shading. Don't want it to be too dark, even though on the camera, the more of a contrast, the better it looks. But in reality, in real life, you want the shading to be more subtle. So we are going to hopefully find the right tint that we want. And let me see. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do the shading because I have no idea what I'm going to paint in the middle. I'm debating on two things. Either doing one of my mandalas, which I love doing, so soothing on the eye, or to do my my heart with the sperms because I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty positive. Spring is coming. It's warming up, fortunately, and so I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. And the difference is that the shading will be different for either of those two patterns. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm going to have to make up my mind right now, actually. And what am I going to do? I just did a heart with, my satellite ring around it, which is my symbol of positivity, love, all that hippie stuff from the good old days. And I just painted that on my last painting. So maybe on this painting, I will go towards a mandala. Why not? So now that I made up my mind on that, that means I'm going to need a little more of this green paint because my shading is going to be a little more Well, just a little more. A little more. Whatever the hell that means. So, let me just clean off my spoon again. Always like to keep my materials nice and clean for the next time I'm going to use it, even if it's in a few minutes. So that is done. Now I have to kind of pick the brush I'm going to be using. And I think I'll be using one of these kind of guys right here. So I guess I'll use him to do the blending. Get a little bit of water in here. And I'm going to go over to camera number 1 over there, and we'll blend this in together. Like that, you'll be part of the action. So I'll bring over this camera a little bit as well and bring it down, because I do have a jar of water right there on my bar stool. And first of all, I'm just going to get the green paint to be the right texture. And then I'll bring in the black afterwards. The black is right there on the edge, as you can see. And I'm just going to bring the black in little by little because, like I said, I don't want it to be too dark. And as the paint dries, especially this green, as it dries, it has a tendency to darken. That is something I had mentioned last Friday when we did these highlights. When I put these highlights on, you could barely see it, especially with the reflection of the light from the window. But as you can see, when it dries, it darkens up quite a bit. So that's exactly what I want, and I don't want it to be darker than that. So let's just bring in a little bit of black and blend this just like that. There we go. Just going to blend it for a few seconds here, make sure it's all nice and mixed in a homogeneous way. Completely blended in. Grab a little bit of water. There we go. Maybe just add a little bit more of this black. There we go. And you know what? I think that is going to be just what we want. Once it's all blended, I think we'll be all set to go and start our center shading, I guess, background. There's that texture that I love so much. It looks like some sort of a cream, a nice creamy texture right there. I hope I'll have enough. Doesn't have to be on that thick, I guess, either. So I can add just a little bit of water. Make sure I have plenty of paint to do both sides of my circle. There we go. Okay, very good. So let me bring the camera up. And I am going to move it over to the side so I'm not standing in front of it. I don't want to be in front of the lens, even though it distorts a little bit our circle. But that's no big deal. So okay, so let's start this. I guess I'm going to want to go like this, sort of. Just kind of back and forth. Make it wider and wider as I go. Here as well. And all the way around. Ah, hello Claudine.
Hi.
Ça va?
Yes.
Good weekend?
Yes, quiet and peaceful.
Very good.
Are you on?
Yep.
Are you on?
On? Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, yep. So let's get this around. So I'm not panicking too much. I know with the reflection of the window it looks very shiny, but eventually when it starts drying off, it will darken and get the shade that we're looking for. And actually, this is probably not the right brush that I needed to do this with, but it doesn't matter. Let's do it. Just. Okay, there's one side. I'm going to do the same thing, but on the other side. And I'm just going to come back here for a second. I was going to switch brushes to do the other side because this brush is not really the one I enjoy using. It's a little too, the hairs are too soft. I guess it's no big deal really just for what I'm doing, but somehow I'd rather feel comfortable with what I'm doing, so. Okay, I'll switch back to camera number 1 again, and I'll tackle this here, this area right here. There we go. There we go. Let's not get too sloppy now either. Of course, all this you won't see that much because of the mandala, which is going to be covering the whole thing afterwards, but still. It does give a little bit of richness to the background, no matter how subtle it is. It will look kind of nice. So, let me just step back for a second and take a look at this. So I can see this part here is already darkening and getting much darker as it's drying. So that's pretty good. And so is this area right here. There. It's got all night to dry, so. There we go. Okay, very good, very good. I can put this aside. guess I don't need this anymore. I'll put the green paint away as well. And now I'm going to concentrate on our frame. So to do the frame, I am going to, like I mentioned, do two little outlines on the frame first. And for that, I am going to draw it with a pencil to make it easier and make sure that as I get tired, I don't deviate from the game plan. So, let me get my pencil out. Let me get my pencil sharpener, which is always right where I leave it. Make sure I find it easily the next time that I need it. So let's put a little edge on this pencil. And so, let me straighten this. Tend to curve a little bit since it's not stapled over here. But I don't think it's going to bother us, so I'm just going to grab my ruler here and just kind of go about like 3/16 on the inside of this frame. And then just make a little pencil. Whoops, Jesus, completely missed on that one. Let's try this again. So, there we go. There we go, that's the outside line. Now let's do the inside one as well. That looks pretty good right there. There we go. And we'll do the same for the top, but this time I'm going to just make a little pencil mark here because with my ruler I won't be able to see what I'm doing. So, pencil mark there, pencil mark here. There we go. That looks pretty good. And same, I'll do the same thing over here, a little pencil mark here. And we'll just join the two lines. There we go. And I'll do the same on the inside line. So I'll say right about there. Right about there. And there we go. So let's very good, right there. Very nice. Okay. And we have to do the same thing over here. Just like that. Get this edge as well. Okay. Get this side as well. There we go. Let go. And I'm going to grab my chair just to do this lower part. Might as well be comfortable, right? After all, we're not here to suffer. Okay, so there. I guess I can go all the way up to here. And then here, the same thing. I'm going to just do a little pencil line right about there. Very nice. And we'll join just like that. And on the bottom, we'll just join what we did before. Look at that, beautiful. Okay. So, now the next big question is, excuse me. Next question is, what color are we going to do this? So I'm just going to bring the camera number one in. The shining from the window is pretty intense, but maybe right there. I just want to just take a second to show you that as it's as the painting is drying, as you can see, the shadowing is more apparent, right? You can kind of see it much better now without the glare from the window. And as it dries, it's definitely getting darker. So let me put this camera over here. And I might as well bring it up here because I am going to start on that upper left-hand corner. Though I have, maybe I should figure out what color I'm going to use to do that. So let me just take a second. Well, I think I'm going to do it in purple, to be honest with you. A dark purple, maybe. And, God, first I'm going to go get some water here. My little kitchen area back here. Because I have a little scratchy throat there. In French, you say you have a cat in your throat when it's a little scratchy, itchy. There, that should do it. So, I have my palette from the other day of purple paint. A little tacky still, but dry. So let's use that. Let me get my knife. And I'm going to want it more or less this color. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do. Maybe I'll use just the purple like right out of the tube maybe. A nice dark purple. It will look like it's black though once it's on the canvas. So maybe I'll just add a little bit of white to it, just to make sure that you can see the white for sure. So, I am definitely rusty today. I can't find my words. But I have a feeling like every Monday is that same thing. Gotta wake up, gotta warm up. Gotta get back in the groove of painting. So also the thing is that if I'm going to do a mandala here, which I am now, it's going to take a lot longer to finish this painting than if I had done my satellite heart. So, not that it matters. I mean, we're not in a race or anything. So let me just get a little bit of my white paint too now. And the knife I just cleaned off so I don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to put the white right there on the side of my palette. There we go. Again, clean off the knife. And we're going to blend the white and the purple together. And again, I think I'll do that on camera number 1. Might as well, why not? And I have to find the right paintbrush to do this mixing. So, I guess I can use this brush that we were using earlier. I'm just going to pour just a teensy-weensy bit of water. There we go. To do the blending, and I'll switch over to camera number 1 here. And we'll do this blending of the white and purple together. So there's the dark purple, obviously. The white paint right there on the side. This is the leftover from last week right here. So let's just blend this whole thing together here. Let's not worry so much. It is, after all, just a little thin line. That's going to look great no matter what color it will be, dark or light. It won't change anything. So let's just blend everything in like that without worrying about anything else, except to get this to be the right texture. Again, very important. I mean, frankly, for your day to go well, you need 3 things. You need the texture to be perfect, so it just glides on the canvas with total control. The second thing you need is to have the right paintbrush, the right size paintbrush. That also is vital. And the third thing is to be in the right physical position. You don't want to be bending over and hurting your back or stretching on your toes. Of course, for a few seconds, it's not a big deal. But if you have quite a bit to do, well, you have to be comfortable. You don't want to be in any sort of a pain or strain or anything like that. So let me get a little bit more water here. That's perfect texture there if I was painting my leaves. But just to draw my lines, I want this to be more like an ink. Of course, I want to keep the opacity to the maximum of the paint, but I still want it to flow on the canvas very nicely. So that is perfect if I was painting something else. So I'm still going to add some water to it. There we go, nice fat. There we go, brush full of water. Again, blend this all in together. Beautiful purple, though, I must say. Look at that. Even with the reflection of the window, you can still tell it's a beautiful lavender. So how does this look? This looks pretty good. Now, am I going to have enough to go all the way around the frame twice? I'm not sure. So just to be sure, I'm going to add some more water right away. Make this a little more liquid. I used to say make it a little more liquidish, but I'm not sure that's English. So I've just decided to stop and say just make it a little more liquid. Maybe that sounds a little more correct. Speaking all these languages can kind of have a tendency to mix everything up. The French, the English, the Spanish. So this looks pretty good. I'm going to start off with this. So I am going to go back to camera, and I'll bring this camera up because we are going to start off on that upper left-hand side because I'm right-handed and I definitely do not want to put my hands in the paint just because I don't want to have to cuss like I usually do when that happens. So I have that done. Now I have, did I just squish purple paint on my glasses? Almost on the rim. That was a close call. Okay. So I have the perfect brush for this one here. Long, soft, wonderful brush. My favorite for this kind of a job. So, we are going to go back to this upper left-hand corner with camera number 1. And I think it would be nice to paint with some music. Like that, I can stay concentrated, make sure I'm making a straight line. I don't have to talk or feel obligated to talk. And I feel even less obligated to talk if I have some music on. So I'm going to play the music of my friends Diego, who plays the violin, Jacek, who's on the guitar, and Lucien on the drums. They were very kind enough to lend me this music so I didn't have to get harassed and hassled by YouTube for copyright reasons of music. So, and not only that, but the music is very nice, very enjoyable. I played it the other day, I think last Thursday, during a huge thunderstorm that we had here. And it was awesome. There was lightning, thunder, the rain was battling down from the sky, and we had that music and painting. Oh, it was just awesome. What a wonderful afternoon that was. So anyways, let us go back to camera number 1 and I'll start the music. All right, let's do that. Well, the paint is the perfect texture. Oh, il me semble bien que j'avais entendu une souris plutôt. J'allais le dire.
Dis-le. N'aie pas honte des mots, n'aie pas peur des mots.
Oui, mon frère.
Tu nommes un chat,
Oui, c'est vrai. Putain.
Ah oui, c'est
Oups.
en train d'enregistrer, c'est
Voilà.
ça que j'ai trouvé embêté.
Je suis pas... Non, j'enregistre pas là. Je suis seulement en direct devant des milliers de gens. C'est ça, moque-toi de moi, quoi.
La 20e toile mensuelle.
Me fais pas rire, j'essaie de faire des lignes droites, pas des lignes en zigzag.
Quand on est tordu, on fait jamais rien.
Il faut que je fasse attention parce que je vais plus vite que la caméra. Voilà. Ça va?
Oh, toi.
Ouais, tranquille, ouais, ça va. Ça va, ça va. Ça va même bien.
Oh, cool.
Ouais, ça va bien quand j'ai pas mal à mon dos, tu sais. C'est pas compliqué, c'est vraiment le truc qui gère et qui décide tout, quoi.
Ouais, je sais. Moi, j'ai commencé à faire mes injections il y a 4 jours, là, ma première.
Pour agrandir le pénis. Pourquoi?
Pour réduire la taille.
Ouais. Ouais, bah, il y a quelque chose de mieux, de plus rapide.
Non, pas une flamme de dos.
Ah, d'accord.
Donc, je fais une première injection. C'est une injection pour commencer tous les 15 jours avec une prise de sang pour le suivi et tout. Mais pour l'instant, c'est pas grave. Elle m'a dit, elle m'a prévenu, la femme, c'est dans 1 mois et demi, j'aurai peut-être des premiers résultats. Enfin, vraiment, les premiers résultats de stabilisation, de plus de douleur. J'ai commis ce matin, mais non, quand même. Donc, j'ai hâte que ça se passe.
Ouais, j'ai failli t'appeler samedi. J'avais besoin d'un coup de main. J'avais rendez-vous pour pour me faire shooter là, pour mon vaccin du Covid. Et le 1er mai.
T'es vacciné?
Comment?
T'es fait vacciner?
Pas encore. Je viens de-
Non, j'ai eu peur. C'est pour ça. Ceux qui se sont fait vacciner, ils sont 2 fois plus contagieux.
Ouais, je suis pas sûr. mais-
Les premiers temps, hein. C'est ça. Et alors?
Bah, c'est tombé le 1er mai. Il n'y avait plus de tram, il n'y avait pas de bus.
Ah.
Donc, je sais pas quoi faire. Puis, je me suis dit, je vais pas le faire chier un samedi. Donc, j'ai appelé, j'ai annulé, quoi. Mais enfin,
Bah, j'avais une séance à 19h le soir. Non, 18h, on m'a dit que ça.
bah, mon rendez-vous était à 2h30, quelque chose comme ça. Mais...
Mais ça aurait été possible.
Oui,
Tu me dis encore?
oui, je préfère, tu vois, te garder pour les choses importantes. Pas pour comme quand tu m'es venu me dépanner là pour ma télé, tu vois. Ça, c'était... bon.
Ah, c'était indispensable. C'était primordial, c'était la survie.
C'est absolument. Tu me fais, voilà, j'ai raté mon truc. Mais c'est clair.
Bah, je te laisse te concentrer parce que je vois tout à l'heure on dirait que t'as Parkinson dès que je suis arrivé.
Mais Ja, il n'est pas là, hein, je crois. Il vient de partir, Ja, non?
Non, non, il vient de remonter.
Ah, il vient de
Par
remonter?
l'extérieur, j'ai dit, il a grimpé par les fenêtres.
Pardon?
Il a grimpé par les fenêtres depuis l'extérieur.
Ouais.
Bon, comment ça fait?
Ça marche, à tout à l'heure.
Cool.
Oui, oui, je monte.
Ah.
Again, I'm going faster than I'm moving the camera. I apologize for that. There we go, almost done with this part. There we go. Maybe if I pulled the camera back just a little bit, I wouldn't have to move it that often. Yeah, that's the ticket. we go. I'm gonna have to get my chair because this has been kind of uncomfortable. So where are we? We're over here. And this is about where we're at. So I'll put the camera right there. And I'll grab my chair. Go. Let me just move this a little more, get out of the way of the lens. There we go. Very good. All right. All right, there we are. Now it feels like I put purple paint, I put some purple paint up my nostril. No, I guess I didn't. Okay. All right, so where are we at here? Let's take a look. We got the shadowing here done. And then the frame. So everything is wet now. I can't. If I start working here, I'm going to get my hand in the paint. It's going to be a huge mess. Because what I would like to do now is lay a whole bunch of little dots all the way around. So that's going to take a while too, but I need the paint to be dry because I know it's going to turn into a catastrophe. And I'm not going to tackle the mandala now because that is still, the paint is wet. And that's a whole different ball game. I have to be in the mandala creative mood. So I will not tackle that now. So I think we're going to conclude today's stream because I can't do anything else right now. Okay, very good. So that will conclude today's stream. Like usual, I'm going to give thanks and praises for my life, for being alive on this extraordinary planet, in this wonderful cosmos of ours. There we go. Just a few seconds to thank the forces of nature. So, I would like to thank you, though, for joining me on today's stream. I hope you'll join me tomorrow as we continue on this frame. And tomorrow we should be able to get quite a bit done. I hope. We'll see. It is kind of tricky. I wish we were a little later in the season where things would dry faster. We'd be able to paint a little more. But anyways, so once again, I'm going to thank you for joining me. I'm going to leave you with two things. The first is my schedule for the week, and the second one is by saying, ciao mes amis.